This is the case against Mike Wheeler, dungeon master, self-appointed leader, professional simp with no plan B. He says he's fighting for love, but somehow everyone else keeps dying in the process. Let the prosecution begin. Exhibit A, the illusion of leadership. Mike thinks he's in charge. From season 1, he's the loudest voice in every room, giving orders, drawing maps, making grand declarations like he's a general. But the second things go off script, Mike panics. When Will goes missing, Mike gathers the group, but it's Joyce who does the actual saving. When 11 collapses, it's Max on the ground doing CPR, not Mike. He doesn't lead, he narrates, he talks like he has a plan, but he never does. He just assumes someone else will handle the follow-through while he monologues about friendship and bravery. Mike thinks leadership is about talking the most, but leadership is doing the hard thing when no one's watching, and Mike disappears the second real responsibility shows up. Remember season 3? When the Mind Flayer takes over the mall, Lucas is grabbing fireworks, Max is watching 11, Steve is literally driving blind in a Russian elevator. Mike is standing next to her, again, asking, "What do we do?" He wants to be the glue, but when things fall apart, he's just another piece on the floor. Charge 1, false authority, claimed without competence, execution, or basic first aid skills. Exhibit B, the boyfriend complex. Mike doesn't just love 11, he defines himself through her. She's the one with powers, the one with danger, the one who makes him feel like the world actually needs him. But that's not a relationship, it's emotional dependency dressed up as loyalty. When she's strong, Mike is confident. When she's scared, Mike is lost. When she leaves, he falls apart like a disconnected Bluetooth device. And when she doubts herself, he doesn't reassure her. He panics, because if she isn't powerful, who is he in this story? The way he clings to her isn't romantic, it's survival. She's his identity shortcut, his excuse to matter. And look at him when she's gone. At school, he fades. In battles, he's silent. In California, separated from her, he doesn't try to grow. He just waits, like a phone waiting for a charger. Even Hopper sees it. The awkward tension, the desperate eye contact. Mike isn't dating 11, he's orbiting her. He says, "I love you," but only when the room is collapsing. Mike doesn't know how to exist without her, and that's not love, that's fear. Charge 2, romantic codependency to the detriment of emotional growth and battlefield efficiency. Exhibit C, the California ghosting. When Mike visits 11 in California, she's drowning in social pressure, isolation, and bullying. She's clearly not okay. And Mike, he's out here delivering half smiles and movie tickets like it's a honeymoon phase. Angela humiliates her publicly, and Mike just stands there, awkward, stunned, silent. He doesn't intervene, he doesn't comfort, he doesn't even ask if she's okay until much later when the damage is done. Mike isn't passive because he's shy. He's passive because he's scared of rocking the boat. He wants the fantasy version of 11, not the real one with trauma and emotion and very real needs. Now compare him to someone like Jonathan, flawed, awkward, but observant, or even Will, who picks up on everything. Mike, meanwhile, is physically present but emotionally on airplane mode. She writes him letters, begging for connection. He shows up and offers platitudes. And when she breaks down, the best he can do is a sad shrug and, "I'm trying." Instead of being present, he becomes background noise. Charge 3, emotional absenteeism in a high-pressure social environment with zero crisis response. Exhibit D, the buyer's house monologue, mid-finale. 11 is in a sensory tank, Max is minutes from death, and Mike finally delivers the emotional speech he's been withholding for years. Tears, desperation, hero complex in full bloom. He says he loves her, that she's the heart, that he needs her. All true, all good, all 2 seasons late. Because when 11 was spiraling in real time, he said nothing. When she lost her powers, silence. When she was being bullied, vibes only. It's not that Mike can't express emotion, it's that he weaponizes it at the most narratively convenient moment. He doesn't say it when it matters, he says it when he's scared. Charge 4, delayed emotional honesty, weaponized as last-second plot armor. Exhibit E, the Will situation. Will pours everything into his painting, into his speech, into those 4 minutes in the back of the van. He tells Mike, through coded metaphors and barely held back tears, that he's scared of being different, of not belonging, of being forgotten. And Mike says, "Thanks." No hug, no follow-up, just a confused smile and a head nod like Will offered him a Capri Sun. It's one of the most emotionally transparent moments in the show, and Mike completely misses it because he isn't listening for Will, he's listening for validation, and it doesn't end there. After all that, Will turns away, crying into his hand, and Mike just stares out the window. This isn't subtext. This is emotional negligence. He doesn't check in, doesn't follow up, doesn't even notice that Will is unraveling. Because if the conversation isn't about Eleven or himself, Mike can't process it. Charge 5. Obliviousness to interpersonal suffering of closest friend, despite alarming visual and auditory cues. Exhibit F, the endgame delusion. Mike truly believes he's the main character. He acts like his feelings are the plot, like his speeches are the solution. He stands in the middle of the group and assumes proximity to danger makes him brave. But he never throws a punch, never makes a plan that actually works, never takes a hit so someone else doesn't have to. Every time someone's in danger, Mike is watching, talking, hoping someone else fixes it. He's not the sword, he's the narration over the battle. Charge 6. Endangerment by emotional grandstanding without strategic contribution or monster-facing credentials. Exhibit G, the reboot loop. Mike doesn't grow, he resets. Each season, he gets a new outfit, a new insecurity, a new speech. But it always leads to the same moment, crying, hugging, disappearing. Let's run the pattern. Season 1, he leads, he panics, 11 saves the day. Season 2, he sulks, gives emotional speeches, 11 saves the day. Season 3, he lies, gets dumped, 11 saves the day. Season 4, he delays, he confesses, 11 saves the day. Every arc ends with her doing the heavy lifting and him standing beside the fallout. There's no lesson, no evolution, just a looping emotional playlist stuck on apology ballad. Charge 7, narrative stagnation under the illusion of growth masked by seasonal nostalgia and soft lighting. Mike Wheeler doesn't mean to be toxic, but his love is a leash, his leadership is a volume knob, and his presence in battle is a liability. He wants to be the hero, but when the blood hits the floor, he's the first one to whisper, "Should we run?" The charges? False leadership under duress, codependent romance with psychic collateral, emotional invisibility when it actually matters, love bombing in a moving vehicle, ignoring the one friend who needed him most, fantasy protagonist syndrome, character development evasion, season after season. Mike Wheeler, he means well, he just doesn't do well. The court sentences him to 1 year of silence during every group decision, 20 hours of supervised emotional literacy training, and 0 access to inspirational speeches until further notice. Coming next, the case against Will Byers. Because surviving the upside down doesn't mean you're emotionally upside right.